welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell, alongside Andy Lott, softball here at the University of Memphis. And Coach, you've had to deal with the same thing every softball, baseball coach has had to deal with in the Southeast, and that's the weather. But it looks like now with things breaking and finally spring starting to get here, you guys are going to get some consistent gameplay in, get the at-bats for the offense, get the innings for the pitchers.
I think so. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long time since we've played some consistent games, and so to get 5 games in this past weekend was really good for us. Before that point, we had played like 4 games within the past 3 weeks, and so to try to find a consistency and flow was kind of hard. But like everyone's dealing with it, and it's part of our season early on. But like you said, the weather is starting to look good. We got a lot of games on our schedule the next few weeks, and so we're looking forward to start forming together and becoming who we think we can be.
We went over to Charleston. I believe it 1-4 in the tournament. You knocked off Marist to start the tournament. Ran into some chilly weather there. That wind coming off the bay over there in Charleston, but things kind of got a little bit more mild as the weekend went along. But the important thing about going over to Charleston, and we've talked to Natalie about this, at this point in the season, with the way the spring has gone so far, you guys were just looking to get games in. You were able to get some innings and some at-bats in.
Right, we were, and that was a great time to do it. And so we've had a lot of injuries on top of not being able to play, and so getting some kids back in, getting them healthy. One of our pitchers has had a concussion. She's been out for several weeks. We have some players who were able to at least pinch hit.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to get them back in our lineup actually this week to be able to get them cleared to play. And so just getting game experience, getting out in the weather. You know, we've been inside a lot, and so just getting out there and playing and trying to get our feet back under us. And seeing some kids that haven't been able to play, it was just good for us. So.
It's got to be really frustrating for a coaching staff if you're not getting to play the games, but you're getting some injuries. You got to be thinking, hey, we're not even playing ball games right now, but we're racking up some injuries.
Right. It seems like it's almost been the perfect storm,
Yeah.
Between the weather and injuries, sicknesses. I mean, we've had it all. You name it, we've had it. And so we are playing a lot of new kids in places that we, frankly, we didn't anticipate them starting. And then some of our starters we got in different positions, and so it's really kind of been out of whack. And so, but things are coming around, everything from the weather to being able to play games and to people getting healthy. And so I really feel like we're going to kind of pick up from where we've been and see some better things.
Now that conference season is about to start, you'll go into the middle part to the latter part of your schedule over the next couple of months. Early season, getting to play some of those new players, maybe out of position, kind of builds a little bit of depth once you get healthy.
Absolutely. And so all those things benefit us. In case we do have further injuries down the road, we can put someone in different spots, and that they can't say they've never played there before. And so that all that plays into building us up down the road, even though it didn't help us now. And so we kind of look at our season into 2 points anyway.
Yeah.
One is preseason, one is conference, and that's really what matters. And so any kind of adversity that we can face early on is going to help us when we go to conference.
Well, you mentioned conference. Got to go over to Tulsa this weekend. You'll start up American play. I know Tulsa's always really strong.
Right. They're always strong. They traditionally have been the best team in the conference. They were picked second this year in preseason, but they it was really close between them and UCF. It could have went either way. They were a preseason top 25. They're just really solid on both parts of the ball. Their offense is really good. As far as our conference teams, they're leading home runs, on-base percentage, least amount of strikeouts. Their team is like second in batting average with our conference teams. And so offensively, they're going to be a nightmare to deal with.
Yeah.
And so they've always been a problem offensively. Their pitching is pretty solid. And so we're going to have to bring our game this weekend.
Obviously, when you play an offensive team like that, the first thing, as you mentioned, you look at is how do you pitch to this team? How do you try to stymie that offense a little bit, but also it puts a little pressure on the offense too. You want to keep up if the runs start coming out, if the games start to get high scoring.
Right, and our offense has been doing better. Our
Yeah.
offense right now is better than it's been since we've been here as coaches, and so, and that's even including our injuries. And so I think it's going to continue to improve. We faced a lot of good pitching and had still been able to improve on offense. Our key is being able to play good defense. I think that we're going to give up a few runs to them, but I think we can match that. And so if we play defense, pitch like that, I know we can, we're going to be able to compete with them.
Tell us a little about your thoughts on the American this year. The American last year in its first year, another strong conference. You got a few new teams in, but you're familiar with them. They were in Conference USA with us a couple of years ago.
Our conference is strong. Last year we had 4 teams go to postseason play out of 7, and so over half of our teams qualified for that. And they're right there again this year. And so we had UCF is in the top 25 right now. They're rolling strong. South Florida is also rolling. Those top 3 teams are tearing it up right now. And so all 3 of those teams are going to be a problem to deal with. And so after that, you got East Carolina, who's a pretty good team. UConn you can't sleep on. And so our conference, our RPI ranking for the conference is really high. And we got a lot more teams in the conference in postseason play last year than even some of the Power 5 conferences. And so our conference can compete with them. Our teams are beating, those teams across the board in Power 5 conferences. And so our conference is tough.
All right. Well, Coach, best of luck over in Tulsa this
Thank
weekend.
you very much.
That is Andy Lott with Tiger Softball. I'm Jeff Brightwell with the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.